name is Mary Hope Pearson, and today my audience is my roommates Kai and Aaron and my sister on FaceTime. So, how many of you know someone who would be willing to give their life for you and no questions asked and just do it? Not many people would. Today I want to discuss Jesus Christ and the impact he's had on my life and how significant he is to me. So on the slideshow I show this verse, and it's John 14, 1 through 14, and it talks about how Jesus is the way and the truth and the life. Jesus Christ has been a part of my life my entire life. Since I was a child, I grew up in a Christian household, and my parents brought me up to know God and to worship him and to love him with all of my heart. And he has just really impacted my life, and I think he's a very significant figure in history, probably one of the most well-known people. If you just mention Jesus, many people will know who you're talking about and the sacrifice he made for so many. So kind of the history of Jesus for those who may not know much about him. Jesus was born in a manger, and his mother was Mary, father was Joseph, and most people were expecting this great regal king to be brought to the people, and he wasn't. He was just like anybody else, and I think that's what makes Jesus so relatable, is that he would associate himself with the rich, but also with the poor, and the diseased, and the blind, the beggars, and the least of all. And he's just made such an amazing impact on my life, and I don't know where I would be without him. This picture is from one of my favorite movies, Passion of the Christ, and it's a movie about the last 12 hours of Jesus' life and what he went through, what he was thinking before he was crucified. Jesus is just so loving and so merciful, and I know that I screw up daily, all the time, and I always tend to find myself just asking, why did I do that? Why didn't I do certain things? And I think that Jesus is just so kind and so loving, and he can easily make you go from your worst days to just feeling completely better, make it one of your best days. And I just think that's really incredible that someone has that much of an impact to change your outlook on your day. So I wanted to share a story, and this picture is Jesus feeding the 5,000, and it's one of my favorite stories in the Bible, because if I could see any event, or any two events, I would probably choose the crucifixion, and I would want to see Jesus feeding the 5,000. I think that's just so amazing that he went from just a few fish and 5 loaves of bread to just feeding so many people. And he was willing to constantly use his time and to give this food to these people. And no matter how rude or how pushy or how much they begged or maybe came back for more, he continually gave and gave without expecting to receive anything. And I kind of wanted to share my testimony. I was baptized when I was 13 years old, and it was whenever I entered my youth group at my church. And I'd always known about God, but I never really knew how truly loving he was until I went to a youth retreat, and I just felt the presence of God all over me, and I knew I wanted to be baptized, and it was just a really amazing experience. And I just thought it was really incredible. I love how Jesus can relate not only to adults and to the elderly and to teenagers like myself, but he took such pride and joy in the children. And he would constantly say, if you don't let the children come to me, how are we going to spread our faith? And I think it's so amazing how someone who is so above us, so much greater and so much more amazing than we can ever imagine, not only took the time to talk to people like me or to the blind or the begging or parents. He was so concerned about talking to the children and to establish that love with them and to establish that trust and just to let them know him and to talk about what there is to come and what there is to be. And I think that's just so incredible, because not many great speakers of today or the past would really take the time to truly talk to children. And I just think that's incredible. And I think that Jesus was so significant, and if I could just tell him thank you, I would. And this speech is a tribute to him, to just say thank you and to talk about the great things he's done, and how he was willing to die on the cross for all of our sins, and just because he loved us so much. So thank you. And do you have any questions?
Not right now. Sorry.
Okay. Well,
Can't
thank
think of
you so
anything.
much.
Okay.